What if the single sentence you whisper to yourself before closing your eyes tonight could decide how you wake up tomorrow? Imagine lying in bed, the day behind you, silence around you, and your mind restless with thoughts of what you didn't do, what went wrong, and what still feels heavy on your chest. Most people drift to sleep with that weight pressing down on them. They carry yesterday's doubts into tomorrow, never realizing that their last thought at night is the seed of their first thought in the morning. And that seed, repeated night after night, becomes the story they live in. But you are here right now because a part of you knows there must be more. You don't want to repeat the cycle. You don't want to wake up tired, already defeated, already behind before the sun even rises. You want to wake up lighter, stronger, ready to fight for your dream. That shift does not come from luck. It comes from intention. It comes from deciding before sleep takes you to plant a new story in your heart. The truth is, your brain never fully sleeps. Science shows that while your body rests, your subconscious mind keeps working, keeps listening, keeps shaping what you will feel and believe the moment you open your eyes. This is why the words you feed it at night matter more than almost anything you say to yourself during the day. Your mind is most impressionable in those quiet minutes before sleep, when the world is gone and it is only you and your thoughts. That is the secret window. That is the doorway to transformation. So what happens if, instead of falling asleep with regret or worry, you choose a sentence that builds you? What happens if you decide to repeat words that remind you of your strength, words that train your mind to fight for you instead of against you? You begin to rise with energy. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to live with courage because every morning starts from a place of power instead of weakness. Stay with me because what you're about to learn is more than a practice. It is a lifeline. It is a way to reset your entire inner world each night, no matter how messy the day was. The sentence I will share with you has the power to cut through the noise, silence the self-doubt, and remind you of the truth you keep forgetting, that you are stronger than your fears, bigger than your failures, and capable of building a future beyond what you have ever imagined. When you carry this ritual into your nights, you stop letting random thoughts control your life. You stop handing your mornings over to negativity. You take back control. You become deliberate. And that one decision, choosing the words you end your day with, becomes a spark for everything else. Tonight, you will not drift into sleep the way you always have. Tonight, you will end your day with intention. And tomorrow when you wake, you will feel the difference. So listen closely, because if you stay with me until the end, you will leave not only with the exact words to say, but with a fire inside you to never again waste another night on doubt. This is the beginning of your reset. This is where the change starts. Think about how many nights you have fallen asleep, replaying the same mistakes in your mind. You lay there staring at the ceiling, thinking about what you should have said, what you could have done, how far behind you feel compared to everyone else, and then morning comes, and you wake up with that same heaviness pressing against your chest. It feels like the past owns you, like yesterday has the power to choke out today. But it doesn't have to be that way. The truth is, you can interrupt that cycle. You can break the chain that binds you to old versions of yourself. Your subconscious is like fertile soil, and whatever you drop into it before sleep will grow. If you drop fear, fear will grow. If you drop doubt, doubt will grow. But if you choose to plant strength, resilience, and belief, those too will grow, and they will rise with you in the morning. This is not wishful thinking. This is how your brain is wired. Studies show that the final thoughts before sleep are rehearsed and repeated throughout the night, embedding themselves deeply into your identity. That means your last words before sleep are not small. They are shaping who you are becoming. That is why you must be intentional, because every single night you are either training your mind to work against you or training it to work for you, and that choice belongs to you alone. Do not underestimate this. The people who change their lives are not always the ones with the best resources, the perfect past, or even the strongest willpower. They are the ones who learn to master their inner world, who learn to speak life into themselves when no one else is around to do it. Picture yourself standing at the edge of sleep tonight, your body tired, your mind quieting, and that powerful window opening. You have two options. You can drift into the old habit of letting your mind feed you fear, or you can take control, breathe deep, and give yourself words that will protect your heart and fuel your soul. If you choose the second path, you will wake up tomorrow with a kind of strength that feels different, It feels unshakable. It feels earned because you planted it, you claimed it. And here's the deeper truth. Every time you repeat this practice, you are reprogramming your identity. You are teaching yourself that you are no longer a victim of your days, no longer chained to old patterns, no longer defined by yesterday's failures. You are teaching yourself that you are powerful, worthy, and capable of growth no matter how late it feels in your life. Each night becomes a rehearsal for the life you want to live. Each night becomes a step closer to the person you are meant to become. So ask yourself, how many more mornings are you willing to lose by falling asleep with the wrong words? How many more days will you let slip through your fingers because you forgot that you have the power to set the tone each night? The time to take back control is now. The chance to rewrite your morning starts tonight. The sentence you are about to make part of your ritual is not just a set of words. It is a declaration of war against fear, against doubt, against every story that has ever held you back. When you repeat it, you are not just preparing for sleep. You are preparing for victory. Every night before you sleep, your mind asks one silent question: who am I becoming? Most people never hear it, but the answer shapes their lives. If you allow fear and regret to answer, you become smaller, weaker, trapped in the echo of past mistakes. But if you choose to answer with strength, with belief, with vision, you begin to rise into the version of yourself you were born to be. That answer is not found in endless scrolling and late night worry or in replaying conversations that no longer matter. It is found in the words you feed your soul when the world is quiet and only you are listening. The moment before sleep is your chance to declare your identity, not the identity the world has thrown on you, not the identity shaped by failures or comparisons, but the identity you decide to build. Your brain, in those last moments, is recording, imprinting, absorbing. If you whisper weakness, weakness is what it keeps. If you whisper power, power is what it remembers. Imagine the difference between closing your eyes with the words, "I'm not enough," versus closing them with the words, "I'm stronger than I think, and tomorrow I rise again." One leads to a restless night, the other to a morning that carries purpose. This is not about pretending life is perfect. It is not about denying your pain or ignoring your struggles. It is about refusing to let those struggles be the final voice that speaks into your soul at night. It is about giving yourself the gift of one true thought, one sentence that aligns you with the person you are becoming. That is the power of repetition. That is the power of ritual. You may not see the shift after one night, but night after night, those words sink in deeper, rewriting the code of your belief, until one morning you wake and realize you are living the strength you planted. Psychology calls this priming. You are programming your mind to look for proof of the words you repeat. Say to yourself that you are lost, and your brain will show you every reason why. Say to yourself that you are powerful, and your brain will hunt for the evidence to back it. This is not magic. It is science. Your subconscious is a loyal servant, always working, always searching, always building reality around the instructions you give it. And what you give it before sleep becomes the foundation of what you live. So tonight, when you whisper this sentence, understand what you are doing. You are not just saying words, you are making a decision. You are declaring to your mind, your heart, and your future that you will no longer let doubt write your story. You are taking control of the script, handing yourself a new role, and stepping into it fully. Every night you repeat it, you sharpen that role. Every night you repeat it, you strengthen the roots of your future. And one day, what once felt like words will feel like truth, unshakable and undeniable. Do not let that power slip by you. Do not waste another night feeding your mind with lies. You deserve to sleep with peace. You deserve to wake with fire. And it begins the moment you decide to speak life into your nights instead of surrendering to the noise of fear. This is where your transformation starts to take root. This is how you rise. There is a reason you feel pulled to this moment right now. Deep down, you know that the life you dream of cannot be built with the same patterns that have been holding you back. You feel it when you wake up tired, when you walk through the day carrying invisible weight, when you look at yourself and know you are meant for more. That quiet knowing is the voice of your future calling you. And every night before sleep, you have the power to answer it. Not tomorrow, not when things get easier, but now, in the stillness before you close your eyes. The mind is shaped by repetition, and repetition is shaped by choice. If you choose the same words that once kept you stuck, you will repeat the same story tomorrow. But if you choose words that remind you of your worth, your power, and your ability to rise again, you start to build a new pattern. Night after night, you train your mind to see possibility where it once saw limitation. This is how change begins, not with giant leaps, but with small, consistent acts of intention that compound over time. Think of how many voices compete for your attention every day. The voices of doubt, of criticism, of comparison, of fear. They are loud, they are constant, and they often drown out the truth of who you are. But when the night comes, all those voices fade, and you are left with the one voice that matters most, your own. That is why these moments before sleep are sacred. That is why what you choose to say carries so much weight. Because when everything else is quiet, the words you speak to yourself sink straight into your soul without resistance. You have carried enough nights of self-criticism. You have carried enough nights of replaying failures and convincing yourself you are behind. Those nights have stolen too many mornings from you. But the beautiful truth is that you are not powerless. You are not chained to that pattern. You have the authority to break it. You have the right to decide what story you fall asleep to. And once you repeat it consistently, the shift will become undeniable. The reason this practice is so powerful is because it aligns with one of the deepest needs in the human heart, the need to believe we are capable of change. When you affirm strength before sleep, you are not lying to yourself. You are awakening a part of you that has been buried beneath fear. You are reminding your soul that it was built for more than just survival. You are giving yourself permission to dream again, to rise again, to fight again. And the more you repeat it, the stronger that permission becomes until it is no longer permission. It is identity. So as you prepare to sleep tonight, do not let the weight of yesterday be the last thing you carry. Replace it. Trade it for words that lift you, words that protect you, words that shape you into the person you are becoming. One sentence, spoken with conviction, can tip the balance of an entire life. That is the power in your hands right now. Do not underestimate it. Do not let it pass you by. This is your chance to decide who you will be when the sun rises again. Every night, as your body grows heavy and your eyes begin to close, your mind is still listening. It is absorbing every thought, every fear, every doubt you feed it. And the truth is, it does not forget. It does not distinguish between truth and fiction. It simply records, it simply reacts, it simply grows stronger in the direction you guide it. That is why what you say before sleep is not small. It is not insignificant. It is the invisible sculptor shaping your tomorrow while the world sleeps. Imagine what it would feel like to wake up tomorrow morning already aligned with your strength, already filled with clarity, already prepared to face challenges with calm certainty. Imagine your mind waking up lighter, free from the chains of yesterday's regret, ready to act instead of react, ready to build instead of hesitate. That power is available to you tonight. It is within reach. All you need to do is speak it with intention, with focus, with conviction. One sentence can unlock that potential. One sentence can remind your subconscious of the truth you have been forgetting, that you are capable of far more than you allow yourself to believe. Every thought you repeat is a command. Every word you whisper to yourself is an instruction. And when you do it at the moment when your mind is most receptive, the effect multiplies. Your fears lose their strength, your doubts begin to fade, and your focus sharpens. You are no longer at the mercy of random thoughts or wandering worries. You are taking control. You are guiding your inner world to support your outer world. And that is how transformation begins. Not with external events, but with the quiet decisions you make when no one else is watching. This is why discipline in these moments is more valuable than hours of effort during the day. When the world demands your attention, distractions pull you away from what matters most. But at night, when you are alone with your mind, you hold the pen. You write the narrative that will carry you through tomorrow, the week ahead, the life you are creating. You are not just ending a day, you are planting a foundation. You are telling your brain exactly who it should wake up as. And it is not just about speaking words, it is about feeling them. It is about letting the meaning penetrate every corner of your consciousness. When you say them, you must believe them, even if just a little. That small belief compounds over time until it becomes undeniable truth. Your confidence grows, your courage grows, your resilience grows. And when you wake, you no longer question your strength. You simply act from it. So tonight, refuse to allow negativity to have the last word. Refuse to let doubt sneak into the final moments before sleep. Replace it with deliberate words that uplift, that empower, that remind you of your worth. The mind obeys repetition, and your subconscious will align with the voice it hears most clearly. Let that voice be yours. Let that voice be strong. Let that voice guide you to the life you were meant to live. The power is in your hands and the moment is now. Your mind does not sleep the way your body does. It works in silence, processing, connecting, shaping the lens through which you see every moment of your life. Every fear, every insecurity, every doubt you allow to occupy your last thoughts is being recorded, stored, and amplified. This is why so many people wake up feeling powerless, anxious, and stuck, carrying yesterday's burdens into the new day. But it does not have to be that way. You have the power to interrupt that pattern. You have the ability to choose what grows inside you while you sleep. When you consciously speak words of strength, gratitude, and determination before sleep, you are training your mind to focus on opportunity rather than obstacle. You are instructing your subconscious to notice solutions where others see only problems. You are telling your inner world that fear is not the driver, but courage is. Your mind, loyal as it is, will obey these instructions, gradually aligning your emotions, actions, and decisions with the person you are determined to become. That alignment is what separates those who drift through life from those who rise intentionally, day after day. Consider the science behind this. Research shows that the moments before sleep are when your brain consolidates memories and reinforces neural pathways. Whatever thoughts dominate your mind in those minutes shape how your brain responds to the world tomorrow. If you fill it with self-doubt, worry, and regret, those neural pathways strengthen, making you more susceptible to negativity and inaction. But if you fill it with words of empowerment, resilience, and belief, you are strengthening pathways that lead to confidence, focus, and relentless drive. This is not wishful thinking. This is how your brain is designed to work, and tonight, you have the chance to use it to your advantage. Your words before sleep are like seeds planted in fertile soil. If you nurture them, they grow into habits. Habits become character. Character becomes destiny. And the beauty of it is that this is entirely within your control. No one can speak into your mind for you. No one can choose the last thought of your day. That responsibility and that power belongs to you alone. When you embrace it, you step into a level of control over your life that most people never realize exists. But it requires discipline. It requires focus. It requires the courage to confront the chaos in your mind and replace it with intention. It is not enough to simply hope for a better tomorrow. You must prepare for it tonight. You must declare it to yourself firmly and repeatedly until it settles deep in your subconscious. And when you do, you will wake with a clarity and energy that feels unstoppable, as if the universe itself has aligned to support your rise. So tonight, as you lie down, take the opportunity to speak directly to the person you are becoming. Give your subconscious a message that cannot be ignored, that you are strong, capable, and deserving of everything you seek. Let these words echo in the quiet of your mind until they become the foundation of your mornings, the fuel for your actions, and the unshakable truth of who you are. This is where transformation begins, and tonight you hold the key. There is a profound power in the moments just before sleep, a power most people ignore. In those quiet minutes, your mind is vulnerable, open, and ready to absorb the last signals it receives. It does not judge. It does not filter. It simply records what you tell it. That is why your inner dialogue at night is more critical than anything you do during the day. Every word you choose to whisper to yourself either strengthens doubt or builds courage. Every sentence either feeds fear or fuels the fire of possibility. Tonight, you have the chance to decide which it will be. Think about how many mornings you have woken with a sense of heaviness, carrying the echoes of yesterday's failures, mistakes, or regrets. That heaviness is not random. It is a direct reflection of what your mind consumed before sleep. But tonight, you can change that. You can replace the weight with words that inspire, that empower, that align you with the life you are determined to create. By consciously choosing what you say in these final moments, you take control of your subconscious, guiding it to support your dreams instead of sabotaging them. The human brain is wired to repeat what it believes, and belief is formed through repetition. When you repeat words of strength, gratitude, And self-empowerment each night, you are rewiring your identity. You are teaching your mind that fear does not define you, that limitation is temporary, that every setback is an opportunity to rise. This is how resilience is built. This is how confidence becomes unstoppable. Every morning you wake, it will be less about fighting yourself and more about embracing your power. Your nights are not just an ending. They are preparation for everything that comes next. When you allow negativity to dominate your last thoughts, you give tomorrow a false start. When you intentionally choose words that elevate your spirit, you give tomorrow a foundation rooted in clarity, courage, and focus. It is not a magic trick. It is the natural outcome of how your mind works. The subconscious absorbs what is repeated, and repeated words become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions become results. And the cycle begins again, stronger, more aligned, more unstoppable. This is why what you say tonight matters more than you realize. One deliberate sentence spoken with conviction and intention can transform the way you wake, the way you act, and the way you approach life. It can break the chains of doubt that have held you back and ignite a fire of self-belief that refuses to be extinguished. And the remarkable thing is that this power has always been within you. It has always been your choice. You simply need to claim it. So as you prepare to close your eyes, let the words you speak be intentional, deliberate, and full of life. Let them carry the energy of the person you are becoming, the person you refuse to settle for anything less than being. Let them remind you that you are capable, strong, resilient, and worthy of everything you desire. Tonight, your mind listens. Tonight, you plant the seeds of transformation. And tomorrow, you rise not as who you were, but as who you have chosen to become. Every night, your mind prepares the stage for tomorrow. It listens more closely than you realize. It does not question. It does not debate. It simply absorbs, records, and reinforces. If your last thoughts are filled with doubt, regret, or fear, your brain rehearses weakness while you sleep. But if your final words are deliberate, empowering, and alive with possibility, your subconscious becomes an ally, shaping your mornings, your actions, and your life in alignment with your highest potential. That power is not hypothetical. It is tangible. It is yours. You have the ability to control this. You can choose whether your mind becomes a prison or a launch pad. And it starts with the words you allow to occupy the sacred space before sleep. Those minutes are a doorway. They determine the lens through which you view the world when you wake. If you allow negativity to dominate, your vision becomes blurred, your energy depleted, your confidence weakened. But if you choose words that affirm your strength, your resilience, your worth, your vision becomes clear, your energy restored, your courage unshakable. Night after night, this small act compounds into transformation. Your subconscious does not respond to passive thoughts. It responds to conviction. It responds to focus. When you speak your intention with purpose, even if it feels small at first, your mind begins to accept it as truth. The neural pathways that reinforce self-doubt begin to weaken, while pathways that reinforce confidence, clarity, and courage grow stronger. You are literally shaping your brain, rewiring it to serve your growth rather than hinder it. This is how the impossible begins to feel inevitable. This is how ordinary nights become the training ground for extraordinary days. Think about what this means for your life. Every missed opportunity, every moment of hesitation, every time you woke up tired, frustrated, or defeated, it was influenced by what you allowed your mind to hold before sleep. But every deliberate word you choose now is a chance to rewrite that pattern. To wake up energized, focused, and aligned with your purpose. To step into the day not as someone reacting to circumstance, but as someone commanding their reality. That is not a distant dream. That is the immediate outcome of a single sentence repeated with intention night after night. This is why discipline at night is more valuable than effort during the day. One sentence carefully chosen and fully believed has more power than hours of random action under the influence of doubt. One sentence has the ability to shift your mindset, align your emotions, and prime your actions before you even open your eyes. It is the silent architect of your destiny, and the responsibility and the privilege belongs to you. So tonight, speak with clarity, speak with focus, speak with belief. Let your last thought be a declaration of who you are becoming. Remind yourself that you are stronger than your fears, bigger than your limitations, and capable of more than you have allowed yourself to imagine. Plant that seed, nourish it with repetition. And tomorrow, watch as your mind, body, and actions rise to meet the person you are becoming. This is where transformation begins. This is where victory starts. Every night, your mind is at its most receptive. The world is quiet, the distractions fade, and the true power of your subconscious is unlocked. What you say, what you believe, and what you allow yourself to focus on in those final moments before sleep is not fleeting. It shapes your thoughts, emotions, and actions for the hours to come. It builds momentum silently, invisibly, but unmistakably. And when you understand this, when you take responsibility for it, you gain access to a force more powerful than circumstance, more reliable than motivation, and more transformative than willpower alone. Your last thoughts determine the first ones in the morning. They set the emotional tone, the mental clarity, and the energy that will guide every decision you make. If you fall asleep with regret, your morning begins with heaviness. If you fall asleep with fear, your morning begins with hesitation. But if you choose strength, confidence, and belief before you close your eyes, your morning begins with power. This is how ordinary people rise above ordinary outcomes, through the deliberate practice of shaping their inner world, even when the world itself is silent. The words you repeat to yourself before sleep are more than affirmations. They are commands to your subconscious mind. They instruct it on what to prioritize, what to believe, and how to interpret the experiences of the coming day. Your subconscious does not differentiate between imagined possibility and current reality. It absorbs what is repeated, what is felt, and what is emphasized. That means the words you choose tonight can override the doubts of the past, the insecurities of the present, and the fears of tomorrow. They become the blueprint for your next day, your next action, your next breakthrough. Think about the energy you could wake up with if every night you reminded yourself of your worth, your resilience, and your ability to overcome. Think about the confidence you could carry if your last thought every night affirmed your courage, your focus, and your commitment to growth. That energy is not abstract. It is real. It is measurable in the clarity of your decisions, the consistency of your actions, and the speed at which you move toward your goals. One intentional sentence before sleep can set the trajectory for a day filled with accomplishment, clarity, and momentum. This practice is not about ignoring struggle or denying challenges. It is about refusing to give them the final voice in your mind. It is about taking back control of the space where change begins. Every deliberate word, every sentence repeated with conviction is a step toward becoming unstoppable. Your subconscious, trained by repetition, begins to work for you instead of against you. The doubts shrink, the courage grows, the focus sharpens. Over time, this small act compounds into habits. Habits become character. Character becomes destiny. So tonight, do not let the noise of fear, regret, or self-doubt claim the final moments of your day. Speak to yourself with clarity, power, and intention. Remind your mind that you are capable, resilient, and worthy of the life you are building. Plant the seed of transformation now and trust that it will grow while you sleep. Your mornings, your actions, and your results will bear the fruit of this simple, powerful practice. This is where your transformation begins. This is where your rise starts. Your mind is constantly listening even when your body lies still. The quiet of night is not emptiness, it is opportunity. Every thought you allow to dominate before sleep becomes a blueprint for tomorrow. Fear repeated becomes hesitation. Doubt repeated becomes limitation. But words of power repeated with focus and belief become momentum. They teach your subconscious to prioritize strength, clarity, and action. They transform ordinary nights into the foundation of extraordinary days. This is the hidden leverage most people never use. The advantage quietly waiting for those willing to claim it. You have been living under the illusion that change comes from effort alone. You have been told that if you work harder, push longer, and grind more, results will follow. But the truth is that the first battle is won not with effort, but with your mind. How you train your thoughts before sleep determines whether effort meets resistance or flows through momentum. Your subconscious either supports you or undermines you. The difference is the words you speak to it tonight. Those words are not meaningless. They are the seeds from which your courage, confidence, and resilience will grow. Imagine waking tomorrow with a mind that is already aligned, focused, and energized. Imagine a morning where hesitation has been replaced by certainty, where fear has been replaced by determination, where doubt has been replaced by clarity. This is not a distant fantasy. This is the direct outcome of the final minutes you choose tonight. The brain does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is believed when the feeling is strong. By consciously choosing words that reflect your power, your capability, and your vision, you are instructing your mind to act as though you are already that person. That is the science behind transformation. That is the leverage available to you now. Every repetition compounds. Every night you speak strength, you weaken the hold of fear. Every night you speak belief, you expand your courage. Every night you remind yourself of your worth, you train your mind to see opportunity where others see limitation. This is how habits form, how confidence grows, and how resilience becomes unshakable. One sentence spoken with intention can set the trajectory for every thought, action, and decision you make tomorrow. That sentence becomes a spark. That spark ignites energy. That energy fuels progress, and progress becomes momentum. You are not powerless. You are not a victim of circumstance. You have control over your inner world, and the practice you begin tonight is the key. Do not allow the chatter of doubt, the echo of mistakes, or the weight of fear to have the last word. Take control. Speak deliberately. Repeat your truth. Remind yourself that you are stronger than your challenges, bigger than your limitations, and capable of creating a life you desire. The words you choose now are the foundation for the victory you will carry into tomorrow. Tonight, you hold the pen. Tonight, you define the story. Tonight, you rise. Tonight is your opportunity to reclaim your mind, your focus, and your life. The moments before sleep are not just a transition from one day to the next. They are a gateway to transformation. Your brain is alert, attentive, and receptive in ways it is not during the chaos of daytime. Every thought you choose to linger on now has the power to shape your reality tomorrow. Fear repeated becomes a chain. Doubt repeated becomes a barrier. But strength repeated becomes habit. Confidence repeated becomes identity. And courage repeated becomes unstoppable momentum. You have been giving your subconscious messages all day, most of them unintentional. You've been feeding it worry, frustration, and self-doubt. That is why your mornings often feel heavy, your energy scattered, your confidence fragile. But tonight, you have the chance to change all of that. You have the chance to speak words that prime your mind for success, for clarity, for relentless action. These words are not wishful thinking. They are instructions. They are a map for your subconscious, guiding it to act in alignment with the person you are becoming. Your last thought before sleep is the most powerful thought you will have all day. It sets the emotional tone for tomorrow. It trains your focus, sharpens your perception, and awakens the potential that has been waiting quietly inside you. When you choose words that affirm your strength, your resilience, and your worth, your subconscious begins to align with those truths. It searches for evidence to confirm them. It nudges your decisions, your energy, and your actions toward what you have declared. This is not theory. It is science. It is how transformation occurs quietly, consistently, and powerfully. Imagine waking tomorrow with a mind that is clear, a heart that is confident, and a body that is ready to act. Imagine opening your eyes without hesitation, without doubt, without regret. That is the outcome of the sentence you choose tonight. Repetition is your tool. Intention is your weapon. Conviction is your power. One sentence, fully believed, spoken with purpose, can shift your neural pathways, rewire your beliefs, and set the trajectory of your day before it even begins. Night after night, this practice compounds. What begins as a conscious act becomes a natural state. What begins as repetition becomes identity. This is your responsibility, and it is your advantage. No one else controls the words in your mind before sleep. No one else can give you the energy, the clarity, or the courage you need for tomorrow. That power is yours alone. Speak it, believe it. Let it sink into every corner of your subconscious. Let it prime your mind, your emotions, and your actions for the person you are becoming. This is how you break cycles of doubt. This is how you build unstoppable confidence. This is how you rise with purpose every single day. Tonight, you do not simply go to sleep. Tonight, you plant the seed of transformation. Tonight, you rise. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, and the quiet moments before sleep are when it listens most closely. This is when your thoughts sink deep into your subconscious, shaping how you see yourself, how you act, and how you move through the world. Every word you choose to dwell on, every sentence you whisper to yourself, becomes a command. It either strengthens fear or fortifies courage. It either amplifies doubt or solidifies confidence. The moments before sleep are not passive. They are your opportunity to take control, to declare your power, and to shape your tomorrow with precision. The difference between waking up feeling drained, uncertain, and defeated and waking up energized, confident, and aligned comes down to what you feed your mind tonight. Your brain does not rest like your body does. It absorbs, it processes, it reinforces. It does not question, it does not negotiate. If you let it dwell on weakness, it rehearses weakness. If you let it dwell on strength, it rehearses strength. That is why the final thought of your day carries more weight than any hour spent working, worrying, or striving during daylight. One deliberate sentence spoken with focus and belief can tip the scales of your life in ways you may not yet see, but will unmistakably feel tomorrow. Every repetition compounds. Every deliberate word spoken with intention strengthens the neural pathways of confidence, resilience, and clarity. Your subconscious begins to align with your chosen reality. It searches for evidence to prove what you have declared. This is how habits form. This is how mindset transforms. One night, one sentence may seem small, but repeated night after night, it creates a chain reaction that reshapes your identity, your actions, and the results you achieve. Your nights, when treated with discipline and intention, become the unseen architecture of your success. Imagine waking tomorrow morning without hesitation. Imagine stepping into the day without doubt weighing you down, without fear dictating your choices, without indecision clouding your actions. That is the outcome of what you decide to plant in your mind tonight. When you speak words of strength, clarity, and self-belief, you are giving your subconscious a blueprint for action, for resilience, for victory. You are choosing to rise in alignment with your potential rather than falling into the cycle of past regrets or unspoken fears. The most powerful transformation is not born from external circumstances. It is born from the internal decisions you make when no one else is watching. The words you speak before sleep are your silent declaration of who you will be tomorrow. They are a commitment to your growth, your purpose, and your rise. Do not let the chaos of your day, the noise of doubt, or the weight of fear have the final word. Take control. Speak deliberately. Believe deeply. Let your subconscious absorb the truth of your strength, your capability, and your vision. Tonight, you are not merely ending a day. You are forging the foundation of the life you are destined to live. Tonight, as you lie down, understand this: the final thoughts you allow in your mind are not just fleeting reflections. They are instructions. Your subconscious does not rest. It absorbs records and begins building reality based on the input it receives. Every word, every sentence, every belief you reinforce in these moments becomes a foundation for tomorrow's actions, decisions, and outcomes. The strength you speak into yourself now grows silently, invisibly, until it becomes unstoppable. The doubts and fears that once dominated your mind can be replaced not by wishful thinking, but by deliberate, repeated affirmation of your power. You have been carrying too many nights of uncertainty, too many nights of replaying failures, too many nights allowing fear to have the last word. That weight is unnecessary. It is a choice. And tonight you can choose differently. You can decide that your final thought will not be one of weakness or limitation, but of strength, clarity, and unwavering belief in your potential. That choice, simple as it may seem, is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It is the difference between waking up to hesitation and waking up to unstoppable momentum. Your subconscious is loyal. It does not argue. It does not debate. It only follows instructions. When you repeatedly affirm your courage, your resilience, and your capability, your mind begins to align with those truths. Neural pathways that once reinforced fear begin to weaken. Pathways that reinforce confidence, clarity, and determination grow stronger. This is how habits are formed, how mindset shifts, and how ordinary nights transform into extraordinary foundations for achievement. One sentence spoken with intention tonight has the power to alter the trajectory of tomorrow in ways that will become visible over time. Think of what it would feel like to wake up fully aligned, fully energized, fully prepared to act without hesitation. Imagine stepping into the day with a sense of clarity, focus, and purpose that has been cultivated while you slept. That is the result of your deliberate practice tonight. The words you repeat with conviction shape not only how you see yourself, but how your mind searches for opportunities, how it responds to challenges, and how it mobilizes your energy to pursue what matters most. This is not theoretical. This is the power of your own biology working in alignment with your intention. Transformation begins not with external effort, but with internal discipline. The person you will become is forged in the quiet of these nights when no one else is watching. Every deliberate word you speak is a reinforcement of your identity, a declaration of your strength, a commitment to your growth. Do not allow fear, doubt, or past failures to dominate these moments. Speak clearly, speak deliberately, and speak with conviction. Let your mind absorb the truth of your power. Tonight, you are not simply ending a day. You are constructing the foundation of the life you were meant to live. Tonight, you rise. Your mind is listening even when your body lies still. Every fleeting thought, every quiet whisper, every internal dialogue you allow tonight is shaping the way you move through tomorrow. It is recording, reinforcing, and building patterns that will guide your focus, your energy, and your actions. If you let fear, doubt, or regret dominate these final moments, your mornings will carry that weight. But if you choose strength, clarity, and unwavering belief, your subconscious becomes an ally, quietly preparing you to rise with momentum, confidence, and purpose. This is your opportunity to reclaim control over your inner world. Too many nights have been surrendered to worry, self-criticism, and the replaying of past mistakes. That cycle is unnecessary and it is preventable. The last thought you allow tonight can be deliberate, powerful, and transformative. It can be a sentence that reminds you of your strength, your resilience, your capacity to overcome, and your worthiness of the life you seek. That single act of focus is more impactful than hours of effort scattered across a distracted day. It is the unseen architecture of your success. Your subconscious does not argue or resist. It obeys the patterns and repetitions it has been trained to accept. When you speak words of belief, courage, and purpose, even if just for a few moments before sleep, your mind begins to align with those truths. Neural pathways that reinforce doubt weaken, and pathways that reinforce confidence, clarity, and resilience grow stronger. This is how the consistent practice of deliberate thought leads to unstoppable transformation. One sentence repeated with intention becomes more than affirmation. It becomes identity. Imagine waking tomorrow with clarity and focus that feels effortless. Imagine stepping into the day with the certainty that you can handle any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and seize every opportunity. That energy does not appear by chance. It is cultivated silently while the world sleeps, through the words you allow to dominate your final thoughts tonight. Your subconscious, trained to absorb and act on these instructions, will prime your mind to notice solutions, embrace courage, and execute with precision. This is how ordinary nights become extraordinary preparation. Transformation begins within, in the quiet moments no one else sees. Every deliberate word you speak tonight is a declaration of your strength, a reinforcement of your purpose, and a commitment to the person you are becoming. Do not allow the chaos of the day, the weight of fear, or the pull of doubt to have the final word. Speak clearly, speak deliberately, speak with conviction. Remind yourself that you are capable, resilient, and deserving of everything you desire. Tonight, you are not merely ending a day, you are forging the foundation of your rise. Tonight, your mind listens. Tonight, your transformation begins.